briefing meeting, Egypt Premier Business and Sourcing and Technology Forum, one of a series aiming at positioning Egypt as one of the leading sourcing destinations and creating a platform of engagement between the Egyptian government, represented by ITIDA, and the multinationals working in the ICT sector in Egypt. I have also the pleasure of welcoming His Excellency Engineer Khalid Negm, Egyptian Minister of ICT, who is honoring us today by his presence, and the event is being held under his auspices. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Our event today is coming from, it's actually an interactive event, a dynamic one. So it will vary from panel discussion, tailored thematic presentations, and video messages. And in between, we'll have light activities like ceremonies targeted to segments from our ICT industry. So again, when we thought about the investor briefing event, our target was just to create that type of platform of engagement. But at the same time, we would like to show some successes from the sector so that we show the competitiveness of Egypt as a leading sourcing destination. During similar events and activities, audience like yourselves tend to be less interested in some of the sessions and talks, more interested in others. So we tell ourselves this is just the perfect time to get our smartphone out and then start texting and communicating, reconnecting with friends, family members, maybe office colleagues, and others. We just did our best to avoid this moment in our event. So what we're going to have today, actually, a diversity of activities that will be presented by our renowned analysts and number of industry leaders, and in addition to government officials. We will also have award ceremonies for our driving force of the sourcing industry, Egyptian talent pool, and we will award a number of multinationals who had outstanding achievements in the Egyptian ICT industry. One last comment I would like to make.
First, I would like to thank His Excellency, the Minister of ICT, Engineer Khalid Negm, for being here with us today and for sponsoring this event. I would like to also thank our guest speakers coming from different parts of the world today, our analysts, Avasant, executives from Everest, IDC, and National Outsourcing Association. And also, I would like to thank all our speakers who are going to participate today in this event. Today is a very, very special day for us for two reasons. The first is, like Mohammed mentioned, it is the first in a series of annual events to brief our investors, current investors, and future investors about Egypt. Why is Egypt progressively is becoming one of the top destinations for outsourcing or for moving the company's activities in Egypt. It's going to be an annual event that we're going to have. And the second reason is because it gives us an opportunity to look in the last 4 years. This is by itself an achievement. But let's reflect a little bit more of what happened the last 4 years. As you will see in the next moments, there is a session where some of the top companies that are present in Egypt have decided to expand their presence in Egypt and have been also expanding their presence in Egypt the last 4 years. Frankly, this is a bit puzzling. You know, you cannot help asking yourself, you know, why on earth would companies established in Egypt in the middle of this political turmoil that we have seen the last 4 years, many governments coming in and going with different ideologies, with different political affiliation, with all these demonstrations in the street all the time, with sabotage, terrorist attacks in different parts of the country. Why on earth, if you are, for example, the CEO of IBM, why on earth would you decide to expand in this kind of environment? It's really puzzling. You know, when you think about it, you say, I tried, in fact, to put myself, and we really asked myself the question, I said, if I was the CEO of IBM or EMC or Valeo or all those who are operating here now,
it's all about making the world, helping the world become a better connected place. My technology was all about helping the world to clean their toilets better. Because for the first few years of my career, that was really, really important. But I thought I'd better build a bridge to Egypt for today's presentation. So I thought, who can I talk to? And I spoke to Mohammed Fatih, and he was very helpful in telling me something about the technical background of Egypt. He told me about how Egypt had been at the leading edge of arithmetic, how Egypt had been at the leading edge of astronomy. But the one that really interested me, Egypt's place in the leading edge of construction in the ancient world. And that's where I built it to my background, because my family is a construction background. My family, my great uncle, he was a famous bridge builder. He built bridges such as Tower Bridge in London. A survey. Every time you write the guide for an interview, you've decided already what you're looking for. So that's what you're going to see, because that's what you're looking for. And that's important, but what have you possibly missed? Because you didn't think to look for it. And sometimes going in and just observing the world of your customer can be far more powerful. And in fact, with Eurostar, we learnt that lesson. We went in thinking like a railway company. We went in and asked people about their travel needs. What did we discover when we went with a blank sheet of paper? We're not a railway company. Who is the competition for Eurostar? We thought it was the aeroplane, or the ferry, or the car, or other ways of getting to Paris. We were so wrong. The competition for Eurostar Leisure, anything else you can do with £100 this weekend. It's a leisure purchase. You don't have to go to Paris. You could buy something for the house. You could go out for a nice dinner. You could. When you understand that, you realize the model is wrong.